Welcome to CIS 100, Using Computers as a Tool. I'm your instructor, Walter Wimberly, and I would like to just give you a quick introduction to this course, including a few things that we're going to cover in this video to help you be successful in the course. So the first thing we're going to do is give you just a little bit of background information on myself. Then I want to talk about how this class is structured and how it may be different than other classes you've taken in the past. We're going to talk about navigating Canvas and what that means for you, as Canvas is where you're going to find all of our course materials. We're going to go over the topics we're going to cover in this course, as well as what's going to be expected of you. Finally, I'm going to give you some good information on how to contact me, your instructor, as well as some tips for success in closing thoughts about this course. So just a couple of quick notes about myself. My name is Walter Wimberly, and this is my second year at Tusculum University. Now, I have about 17 years of teaching experience at a variety of colleges and universities, both public and private. I also have over a dozen years of experience in industry. I've done everything from working with VR to working using an LMS system, kind of like Canvas. I also most recently did work as what they call an office automation. And that is just automating the things that people do every day in the office to make their lives faster, simpler, easier, and to use the computer as the appropriate tool to get that result. Let's talk about how this class is structured. So this class is known as an online asynchronous course. Now, you might ask, what does that mean? I did online last semester in high school, or maybe some other places you've taken an online course. Well, let's just clarify a couple of things for you. First off, the online portion. That means, as you might expect, that you're not going to be coming to an actual physical classroom at any time for this course. That means there's going to be a lot of stuff you have to do on your own. And that's the asynchronous part, is that you will be doing things on your own, on your schedule. You don't have to come to a class or show up to an online Zoom meeting every week at a specific day and time. This makes it really efficient to work around your work schedule, or maybe you have a team sports schedule that you have to go to practice for or do individual practice. So this gives you a lot of flexibility because you get to schedule and do it. Now, how does that work for you learning? Well, as you'll see in a minute, I've created a series of modules that will help you to learn using both readings and short video clips to learn different topics about what we're going to cover in this course. So next I want to go into navigating Canvas. When you go into Canvas as a student, you're going to see something that looks like this, your home page. Here you have your course description, some basic instructions, etc. Underneath your home tab, you have announcements. Your announcements is where I can send information to you. Maybe it'll be a reminder about an upcoming quiz or other information just in general about the school that you're going to want to know. That right now isn't set up, so I'm not going to show you that, but I'm going to show you the modules. And your syllabus is going to tell you a kind of a high-level overview of the course and what you're going to learn. Your modules is where you get to the actual details. First things first, there is a course enrollment agreement that just says that you're going to be taking this course, you're actively involved. You have to do that before you do anything except for the welcome to the course. That just gives you a quick little information. Welcome to the course, you'll notice that you have, for example, your objective. This is going to be kind of what's covered in this particular module. Now, each module is going to cover a single topic and idea, and you'll see what those topics are in just 1 minute. So your objective is going to tell you what the objective of this module, what the topic is that you're going to do. You're going to see that you're going to have some readings, things like how to get started in the course and some institutional policies in this particular case, things that you need to know about Tusculum and about this course. Once you go through that, you're going to notice that some of these courses modules are going to have a prerequisite. So before we get into Module 2, you need to finish Module 1. All of it, including the short quiz that's in there. Now, a lot of times your quizzes are going to be short, multiple choice questions, or a couple of simple fill in the blanks. Now, your second section is going to be on how to do an effective search. Now, most of us have been doing internet searches for years and years, and we think of them as kind of secondhand nature. However, the question is, are we being as effective and efficient? And how does the search engine actually work to get those results back for us? So Module 2 is going to allow us to kind of explore what a search engine is, what it does, and what we can do to make it more effective and responsive for us. You'll notice that in Module 2, there isn't a quiz, but there is an assignment that you'll need to complete on your own. And that simple assignment's kind of going to look like a quiz, but it's going to test you to see how well you can go out and find and return search results that you need. By doing that, you can then move on to Module 3. Module 3 is going to cover e-safety. How do you stay safe online? There's a couple different subsections in this module, such as, in general, are you cyber safe? Best practices for passwords, as well as how to avoid email scams and phishing scams. So this module is going to help you stay safe online and hopefully provide information that you'd be willing to share with friends and family to help keep them safe as well. Now, one of the things that you are going to notice in this is that it has a couple of different things, and I want to show this real quick. For example, you have a module to take you out to an external link, and that's so you can help learn how to generate a strong password and see some sample examples. Secondly, I want you to look at, for example, there is a discussion involved. And your discussion is going to be where you and classmates can discuss different ideas about a topic. I'll usually pose a question and you'll need to respond. Additionally, you'll need to respond to some of your other classmates. We have a large enough class, this should be plenty easy, but to get full points for that, you'll want to go through those discussion questions as well. So let's talk about the actual topics that we're going to cover. Now, using a computer as a tool is kind of a broad range topic, and there's a lot of things that you can see. And as you saw from the first part, we already know two of our topics. Number one, how to effectively use a search engine. And number two, how to stay e-safe. Other topics are going to include using social media in a professional manner, netiquette, which is going to be more using social media in a social manner, as well as sending out emails, which will kind of cross between both professional and personal. Then we're going to start to get into the book. And so there is a book for this course. It is a big book, and I know it looks daunting, but don't worry, it actually goes through pretty quickly. And there's going to be several topics we're going to cover in the book. The reason we put this a little bit later on is that way if it takes a little bit of time for you to get the book, you can start immediately on the course and not get behind while you're waiting to be able to get the book, either because you need to order it and have it shipped to you if you're staying at home, or if you need to just wait to go to the bookstore and go get it. You don't want to necessarily go in the middle of a big rush. The topics that we're going to cover from the book is going to be an introduction to Windows 10, how to make sure you're effectively using the operating system to do everything from find files to load applications. We're going to have a section on an intro to Word, and that's going to be broken down into subsections you'll see in a minute, but that's going to go through the book as well as an introduction to Excel and PowerPoint. If you're not familiar with one or any of those applications, don't worry. By the time you get through, you'll understand how each of those applications work, what they're good for, and be able to do some basic things. All this will be important to you if you're going through college because, for example, a lot of college classes are now requiring you to do presentations, in which case PowerPoint is a great tool for that. Or anytime you have to write a report, you're probably going to be using Microsoft Word or a very similar tool. So you can start with no information whatsoever, and by following along with the book, you'll have that information for you. I'll assign what chapters and provide, once again, little tutorials, additional, and videos to help you along the way. So let's talk real quickly about what's expected of you. So there is a couple of things that are expected. There are assignments in this online course. It's not just one that you sign up to take and do one assignment. There are a series of assignments for each module. Some are going to be really simple and only take a few minutes. Some are going to take a little bit longer. So make sure that you go through each module, check to make sure everything is done and completed, and that you can work through that. Now, if you want to contact me, there's a couple of really good ways. Number one is you're going to get an email from me, and so you'll have my email address. And email is a great way to get a hold of me. I'm not always in my office, and if you leave a phone message, I may not get it right away. However, I do check my email almost every day, even on the weekends, so you can email me. Now, If you email me at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm probably going to be asleep and not answering it. So try to email during normal business hours. And if you do need to email me after hours, that's okay, but you probably won't get a reply until the next day. A couple of tips for success and some closing thoughts. If you've never taken an online asynchronous course before, or if you have maybe last semester during the beginning of a pandemic, where a lot of times online courses weren't even graded, they were only there to maybe help your grade, I want to give you a couple of tips to be successful in an online course. I'm speaking both as your instructor and as someone who actually took their entire master's degree online. Some things I learned to help me be successful, and I think they'll help you. So first thing, and most importantly, is while you can do this course at any time, I've found it for myself to be beneficial if I picked a time and I went to class at that day and time. Now, that day and time is going to be different for you based upon your other courses you're taking, your other schedules with work and maybe sports. So you have to find a good time for you. But if you block out that time and you say, hey, I'm not going to go out with my friends at that time, or I'm not going to, sit down and watch a movie, 3 p.m. on Monday is my time to do the course. I'm going to put an hour aside every week. And then I'm going to maybe set aside another hour just in case I need to get some extra work done, or maybe 2 if you need that time. Do that. Figure out what you need in order to be successful in putting down that block of time to make sure your work gets done. I know firsthand from my own experience that I didn't do that right away. I put things off, and then all of a sudden at the end of the semester, I was crushed. I was crushed because I had deadlines coming up, and crushed in some cases that I only had to turn stuff in at the end of the semester, and I had to rush through it. That's not fun. I can tell you firsthand, you don't want to go through that. So learn from my mistakes. Set aside some time every week, maybe a couple times if that's what's necessary. I recommend at least a half hour to an hour. Maybe you need more time. That's okay. Don't worry about taking extra time. Number 2, and this is also a lesson I learned the hard way, was I was afraid to ask for help. I felt like I had to do it on my own, and that's what the idea of the online course was. In reality, I had a whole slew of professors that were behind me in each course who wanted to help. And I'm here, I want to help as well. So there's a couple of ways. We talked about ways to contact me, email being a great way. Feel free to email me at any time. But there's also another way, and that is through online virtual office hours. Because of the current pandemic situation, we are not meeting in actual physical offices this term, but we are still holding office hours via Zoom. Those virtual office hours will be broken down to 2 types. One is what we call an open office hour, and you can come at any time to come and visit me. So all you have to do is click on the link to Zoom and sign right in. You can use Zoom through your cell phone or through a computer. I recommend through a computer so you can share your screen and you can say, hey, I'm having a question about, and you can show me and I can help you directly that way. The second will be a set of office hours set up by appointment. You can come to them, but you'll need to set an appointment the day before. That way I know to be there and I make sure someone else isn't already there. So open office hours could have other students from other classes coming in, and you might have to kind of wait your turn, but if you do it by appointment, that will be a specific time for you. You just kind of tell me how long you're going to need within that office hour block. Overall, I'm going to have about 9 hours of office hours. That's way more than you find in a lot of universities. You only get 4 or 5. So feel free to take advantage of those as well. I'm here to help you succeed, and I want to do everything I can to help you. You just have to let me know so I can be able to do that. Now, the third closing thought is to try not to get behind. I know it's tough, and it's easy to get sidetracked, and you've got other classes and big projects coming in. I understand that. I've been there myself. But you want to be able to move quickly through this course. This one's going to be very easy. It's a nice way to kind of start off. And as long as you do your assignments and don't get behind, you'll be okay. So I want to wish you some good luck in this course. Remember, reach out and contact me if you need to. Everything will be through Canvas or an email, and I'll be emailing to provide information throughout the term to you guys. And feel free to email me in either response to that or on your own if you have questions or comments. Feel free to drop by to virtual office hours. Don't even have to talk about class. If you just need to hang out and talk to someone, that's good too. I personally like science fiction. Feel free to talk about latest movies, books, comics, whatever. I'm good with it. So until then, good luck. I'll see you soon.